The NFC South is going to be absolutely insane in 2025. The defending division champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, have retooled and reloaded and are looking to defend. But you also have some young and up and coming teams like the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers who are depending on some young talent to take that next step forward. And then, of course, the Atlanta Falcons, always the hyped up team before the season starts. Can they actually produce this year with Michael Penix? James, I think I know where you're going to go with this. But who is your X factor for the NFC South in 2025?
My NFC South X factor is going to be the one and only Bryce Young from the Carolina Panthers, because there's one thing I know. Roll damn Tide and roll Panthers roll, because this is going to be the second place team in the NFC South, not the beloved Atlanta Falcons, my former employer. No. This is, let's just set the record straight. This is the Bucks. This is the Bucks division. No doubt. Only thing we care about is Mike Evans over under 900 or really 1,000-yard season. That's all our overs are on this year. But in all honesty, it is the Carolina Panthers, because you at first, you saw what happened the first couple games. Bryce didn't look good. He got benched. Andy Dalton took his spot. I had to hear it from everybody. Bryce a bust. Bryce a bust. But at whatever happened overseas against the Giants, whatever happened overseas, one of the hottest teams betting wise against the spread, but really played well at the end of the season and bringing all that momentum in. I like what I saw, even for the little stint that we saw Bryce Young play against the Browns the other night. Spence, Jiselle, trust me when I say this. The Panthers are the second best team this year in the NFC South. Book it, because I know everyone's going to say it's big Penix energy, but guess what? No. No way, Jose, until I see the Falcons defense step up. We all know what Bijan Robinson's going to do. We all know what Drake London's going to do. I know Spencer's still waiting on Kyle Pitts to turn a corner.
No, I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm not. I can't stand Kyle Pitts. But I'll tell you this, James. I've been out on Kyle Pitts for 2 years now. I know I'm a fantasy football guy, and that's the people that are still hyping up Kyle Pitts as potential and not a just complete bust. I know it's my community. I get that. I know why you're coming at me, but I have avoided Kyle Pitts like the plague for the past 2 seasons. I refuse. He's been one of those guys that I've said to myself, if he breaks out, I'm okay with it being on someone else's team, because it's not going to be on mine, because I refuse to draft that guy. I don't buy the hype. But also, I want to give you kudos. You said Bijan's name correctly. Good job, James. Good on you there. Jiselle, who's your X factor in the NFC South in 2025?
I'm not rocking with James on this one. I think the Falcons are going to be pushed over the edge against the Panthers. The Panthers are on their way. They're climbing the ladder. They're just not on the platform yet. So are we going to see a turn of a new leaf? Yeah, absolutely. But are we going to see them push over against the Falcons? No. I'm going to take your line, Spence. 3 for 3. Tampa Bay Bucks, number 1. Mike Evans, we love you. Mike Evans, we trust, is their division. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Number 2, I don't know where Spence is going to be. We'll find out here soon.
He'll probably pick the Saints.
I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons, because believe it or not, this is how I feel about the Falcons. When it comes to certain weeks, I think it just depends on who they play. They push out some really great numbers that comes out of nowhere. If you ever have them on your bench, or you need to draft someone last minute because one of your players get injured, I have had Kyle Pitts and I have had Drake London sub in for a couple of my players last season, and they gave me a lot of points. I mean, were they my number 1 choice? No. But were they a great backup and they helped me win that week? Hell yeah, they did. So I'm going to choose the Falcons for number 2.
Look, Jiselle. See, this is why I know the Falcons ain't going to be the number 2 team in the NFC. Y'all have been talking the Falcons as fantasy Falcon players. I ain't heard nothing about wins and losses. And all I know is this. They ain't no true number 2 receiver in Atlanta. We know it's going to be a heavy run game. And guess what? Michael Penix Jr., as much as we want him to succeed,
right,
the over-under for passing touchdowns is 19. So is he really that productive in making this team over the hump as the second best team in the South.
This is what I'll say to that, James. That's a crazy number. I don't think he blows it out of the water, but I would confidently hit the over on that personally. I think because Michael Penix has never been a mobile guy. And I think we see him get to, I think 23 would be a number I would say would be a good number for Michael Penix.
Jordan.
This is my thing. To go back to what you said, the reason why I always love the Atlanta Falcons in fantasy, first off, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Darnell Mooney, sir. They do have a wide receiver too that is actually relatively productive. But this is some talented guys. And the reason I like them in fantasy is it actually fits with your narrative of what you were saying, James, because we're not talking wins. The reason I like them in fantasy is because these are offensive players. Their defense is horrendous. They get into shootouts and they produce points. So that's why the Falcons are a darling of me.
Very fair.
But I'll tell you this. I want to be able to say, I know Jiselle or James said I was going to pick the Saints. I wish I could be hot take Charlie and freaking pick the Saints to be second in this division. Because, yeah, you're right. 3 for 3, Buccaneers. The thing with the Saints, this is a team I actually like some of the talent. I like their offensive line talent that they've got. They actually got some talent there. Kelvin Banks in the first round. I like moving Trevor Penning inside, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, Talie's Fuaga. Like, this is a lot of high premium draft talent on this offensive line. And you know me, James, I'm a big believer that winning in the NFL starts in the trenches. And so they have a great offensive line, but we also know the most important position is quarterback. Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, Jake Hayner, and some guy named Hunter Deckers. This is a team that is just they have no chance in this division in the NFC when that's your quarterback room. There's no veteran leadership there. Unless you count Tyler Shuck because he's on AARP already. But these are not talented guys at all. This is a quarterback room that's easily the worst in the NFL. Alvin Kamara is another year older. Chris Olave is always a concussion away from being out for the entire season and possibly even his career ending. So as much as I love that offensive line, I just don't see a way that they finish anywhere close to contending in the NFC South. I think they are also another team that is in the conversation for the number 1 overall pick. And they might be the ones that really end up tanking for a quarterback and get the number 1 pick to really restart their franchise. Because, hey, like I said, premium offensive line talent, you get a franchise quarterback in next year's draft, maybe we're cooking something in New Orleans.
Over under 3.5 wins.
For Saints?
Oh, my gosh. That's a good number. I'm going to take the under.
I'm going to take oh, my God. I was going to say I'm going to take the under.
Okay, under 2.5 wins because it's under.
Over.
I'll tell you, I think I'd clock them at 3 and 14.
I clocked them at 3. That's why I was like 3.5 has to be under. But if it's 3, then we're talking.
Okay. It's the NFL, man. They could catch even a team like your Eagles on a random Sunday. Any given Sunday. We know this. We've seen this every year. Teams win games they shouldn't. It happens all the time. This New Orleans Saints team has enough talent on it. They're not going to go winless. They'll get some wins, and they won't be favored in those wins. We know that. They're not going to be favored. All right, guys. Who we got winning the NFC South? We got the Bucks. How do we see it shaking out?
Bucks, Panthers, Falcons, Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, Saints.
I'm with Spencer.
Yeah, it's a little chalky. I think that's how Vegas would hash it out. And I like the Panthers. I like Ted McMillan a lot. And I like Bryce Young too. It was an inspiring story seeing him turn around last year. But
this isn't ready yet. Need to bake a little bit more.
A little bit more seasoning. And it's okay. It's his 3rd year in the NFL. I don't think he needs to be a finished product after 2 years. But we need to see him continue to develop more this year, not take any regression. But y'all let us know in the comments, who do you got winning the NFC South in 2025? Let us know any other X factors that you think are going to come into play in the NFC South.